Okay, greeting to everyone. Welcome to today's session in which we are going to talk about tables, how to create table in Excel, how to resize a table, how to add some stylings to the table, how to convert the table to the normal cell range, and also we are going to learn how to present the data in the table by using different ways, such as by using the charts. So the previous video on the data analysis, we speak about data filtering and data sorting. So if you did not watch the first lesson, so make sure that you subscribe to my channel Learn ICT with Tobe, and you will get that video of that channel. Okay, welcome. To begin with, let's see what is a table. In a normal meaning, a table is a structured range of data organized into rows and columns where each column has a header. So the table helps to manage, analyze, and present data easily. Under data tables, we shall learn the following: the data design itself, the table resizing, removing duplicates if they are available in your data, converting tables into range, and also we shall learn on table styling, in which we shall see the conditional formatting of the table. That is, highlighting the cell rules, top-bottom rules, data bars, color scale, and icon sets. We shall also learn the manage rule, and we shall learn the charts and also the pivot tables. Let us begin with what is table design. The table design refers to how one can format and style a table to make it clear, attractive, and easy to use. Here we shall see how to create and how to design a table in different ways. A good table design have to have the following elements. The first is clear headers. Use the bold one to the title column. Number two, the table has to be consistent in format. That means it have to contain the same style of the fonts and the same size. That is, when you align the numbers, you make sure that the number are aligned to the right, while the text are aligned to the left in each column. Now, the other one, which is number 3, is coloring and styling. Make sure that your table use the styles like light, medium, and dark. Apply the alternative raw colors, which we call sometimes banded rows, to make sure that your data are easy, visible, and can be separated from one another without any obstacle. Number 4, make sure that your table have borders and grids. The borders and the grids are added there to separate the data clearly. And the number 5 element for a good table design is the proper spacing. Make sure you adjust the column width and the row height in such a way that the data in rows are fitting very well. Okay, table resize. We sometimes need to resize or change the appearance of the table by removing some rows or by removing some columns, and sometimes by adding some rows and adding some columns. So resizing is to increase or decrease the range of the table. This means that the size of the table can be changed, and there are 3 ways in which you can change the size of the table. Number 1 is by using the table command, which is normally available in the Excel. The number 2 is by dragging. You drag the table so that you can limit the number of rows and the number of columns. Number 3 is by adding headers. So when you have already designed the table and you wish to increase it, so you have to add some headers there and the table will expand itself. We shall see it into a practical way. So remember, cell is outside the table which you have already resized are no longer included in the table. And that means the connection between the cells created by the table is broken totally, and they will no longer have the table formatting. In this table designing, resizing, we have another part which is very important, that is removing the duplicates. You may have inserted a lot of data into your table and you find that some of the data are repeating themselves. That means they have extra copies. So the duplicate are extra copies or values. So in Excel, there is a command to remove the duplicates in the table. Removing duplicates are helpful when you are just cleaning the data sets and you can do not want to include any kind of copy. Remove the duplicate function is found in the ribbon under the table design tab. So you can also convert the table which you have already created back to the cell range. So converting table to the range, you have to, it's just making the table back to the range. Table can be converted to range by just selecting a cell in the table range and clicking on the convert to cell range command. So there is a certain command there you will see in the ribbon under the table designing. There is that kind of command, convert the table to cell range. So the command to convert to the range is found in the table design tab in the tools group. Table styling. What is table styling? Table styling is the way to change the appearance of the table. The Excel has so many ready-made table styles which can be applied to the tables. Now, a table can be changed to make it easy to read and understand. The other reason to convert or to style the table is just to make it look better and attractive. Normally, when you are doing data analysis, make sure that your data visible, attractive, so that they can help you to make some decisions. For example, the table being shown here below is the table which has used the table style medium 2, which is in a blue way or blue color. Let's now see this all into the practical. Before we go there, you have to consider the main 3 categories of table style which we normally use. The first one is a right. This style has so many white spaces. And the other one is medium. The medium colors has a medium white spaces, while the dark one has less or sometimes has no white spaces. So we shall see it practically there when we are doing. Now, the next part will be conditional formatting before we move to the charts, which I think will be given into the video number 3. Now let us jump to the practical part. Okay, in here I have created some of the data concerning pork monsters, those animals, I think you know them. Alright, so in this table, we are going now to make a table design, and also we are going to resize the table by using our 3 ways. Now, how can you create a table? There is a under insert tab here, there is a so-called tables here. I think you can see it, and it tells you that you can create the table to organize or analyze your data. So there is a command also by just clicking Control T, there you create the table. And when you are creating the table, make sure that you understand the real length of your table. Now our table begins here at A1. Okay, think you see where there is a header name A1 and goes up to this one, the last data, which is in F55. So to create this table, you can control and click Control T. Then it has given you the length K14. So we are not dealing with only K14. We are starting at A1, A1, click A, then 1 here, A1, up to, you have to put double column there, up to F55. F55. Make sure that this length is not relative. To make it absolute, you just click Fn, then followed by F4. Function key followed by F4. Now this tells you that our cell length is from A1. You have to begin with a dollar sign also here. A1 to F55. You have also to start with a dollar sign because this is a very total absolute limit. So now my table has a header. I have to click this to make visible your header, then click OK. Now you have seen here the table has changed. It was from, yes, it was from A1 to F, not F55, just F22. You see here the row, this is the rat. But no problem, you can edit your table by just controlling T. Then you put your length again. This is F, A1 to A22, to F22. A1, F22. Then when you highlight all this, click function key, then F4. This says now you are having absolute limit. Make sure that you have an equal sign here, because when you are creating a table, it is like you are doing some Excel functions. Now click OK. The table has already created, but you can see it is overlapping because we have another table which has gone up to F55. Alright, this is a table now which we have already created, but if you can see, this has so-called filter tabs. You can remove the filter tabs under the table designing tab here. There is this one, filter button, so you can undo it and your table becomes like that one. Another element of a good table, we say that the good table must have the table borders. Here borders are not well organized, so you can highlight your table, then under the home tab there is a so-called borders. You choose all borders. Now you can see your table has borders. Alright, the other one must have the bold headers. So you can highlight your headers here and go to home tab. There is a bolding key here. When you click it, now your header become bold. You can style it in any way you like. You can put maybe the background color instead of having this blue. You can choose another kind of color, maybe black, red, orange, this is green, pink, any color of your preference, orange, like that one. And we use the banded laws. This banded laws helps you to differentiate one data from another, because the first one here is in a blue, the second one has a white background, the next one is in like blue, pale blue. The other one is in white. This is called the alternative banding rows. That means one row has differentiated from another by the color difference. Now, there are three kinds of styling the table as how we seen from the theoretical part. And these styling ways can be obtained by just finding the clicking on the table design tab here, table. So here, table styling. I think you can see the position of my cursor there. So in this style now there are three types. The first one we said it is a white, which has many white spaces, light one which has many light white spaces. The second is medium, which have less or medium white spaces. And the last one is dark, which has no or more or less white spaces. So the light design, I think you can see it very well here. This is called light design. It has many types of white design. For example, this one is called the light blue table style light 20. This one is called the white table style light 18. This one is called a right green table style light 21. So you can choose any kind of light style that you wish your table to look like. For example, this one is like attractive for a kind of background we have put on the headers. All right. To obtain that style, you just click your table header, any table header. So you go to a tab, table design there. After that, you go to table style. So you will choose the down arrow here and you will see them all. So the light is with various types. The medium also here is with variable types. When you scroll more up, you find the dark one, which also have various type of styles. So in a good table design, make sure that every data in your table is visible and make sure that the header is bold. You make sure that also the font types are not disturbing you. You make sure that the cell height and width are also well organized so that all the data are visible. I think this is what is happening here. All right. Now, when we were creating this table, it has gone up to 55 according to the range which we have chosen ourselves by using the number one type of table design. And also here, you can do the called resizing of the table. There are three ways in which you can resize the table. The number one, which we have seen here in the theoretical way, is just by using the resize table command. The resize table command. Now, how can we resize our table by using table resize command? Is just by reviewing. You go to the table design tab. Then here there is a resize table command. At the leftmost of the table design tab, you can see here resize table. When you click it there, now you can change the range of the table according to where you wish your table to be limited. For example, here it has gone up to 55, F55. Now we just want F22. So you remove 55 and put 22 here. Now when you click OK, you can find your table is already resized up to F22. Now, if you don't wish maybe this data to be included also, you can limit even up to F16. You just go to the table design tab, you go to resize your table, then you say here, I'm just stopping at F16. When you click OK, you find some of data outside of the table. And we have said this table which are outside the table design, they are not included again in the table, and the relationship between all these cells has already broken because we have resized our table up to where we wish our data to stop. Now, another method of table resizing is just by using the drag format. When you click here at the end of the table, you can see there is a certain mark where you can drag down the table and you can drag up, or you can drag to any kind of stopping range. Now let's move by just removing the F. You see, we have already excluded the values in the column F, and also let's remove more with this E. We have excluded also the data in E, right? So when you see this one, this attack and the defense here are no longer the members of the table because our table has already resized to only D16 instead of having all this data. You can just resize back to the normal size by using the same way. You just click here, then you drag it. You click here, then you drag back to the normal table size. Dragging up to here. Yes, our table was up to there. That is by using a drag. You can resize a table also by using the third method, which we have seen in the theoretical part, and this is by using or by adding just a header to the table headers there. You have to add another header so that the table format or the table size changes to that kind of data you wish to add. Maybe later add the header available here. And this header or column will have the same table style as the table which you can see here at the left. So when you click OK, now you can see the available as included in the table and has inherited the same table style. You can see the header colors and also the banding on these rows is the same. You can add more if you are interested. Yes, you can add more if you're interested. When you add that kind of header, now you see your table is totally increasing and it is inheriting the same table style. Okay, that is how you can design and how you can do some resizing of the table. Now let's see how we can remove the duplicates in our table. Alright, let's go to this kind of table here I have already created. So in this data, there are some of the data which are repeating in rows and columns. Now, this is in a normal cell range. To create a table, you just control T while you are very conscious of the limits of the table you are creating. Our table begins at A1 and ends here at F10. Now you control T. When you control T, you control T, not F. Okay, now it tells you the range is L3. We are not dealing with 03. So you say equal sign A1 up to the double colon up to F10. After doing that, you just click, you highlight the cell range and click F and key followed by F4. So now our range here is totally absolute and our table has headers there you click, you highlight the my table has a header tab here, then you click OK. Now you find your table is already created. This is not only the one way of creating a table. The other one I have told you is by just going here at the insert tab. You click insert, then you see this is a table. Now when you click this a table, I think you will see the range where you need to create a table. You will edit the range if the range is not exact of the table you want to create, right? And if you wish to this one to give you the normal range of the same data you are having, you first need to highlight the old table. You will hide the whole table like this one. Maybe here we want to create our table, so you highlight it all. After highlighting, you go to insert, then table, then it has given you the light range of your table of the table you are creating. My table has a header. No, my table has no header here. When you click OK, now you have this kind of a table in here. So that is in another way of creating a table. Now we have created our table as this one here by using the command of Control T, creating a table. In here, what we wish to do is to remove the duplicates, the data which are in copies. Now, how can you do? There is a remove duplicates command under the table tab as how it is here. Now, click on the table tab, design, then at here, you see, remove duplicates. So here is where now you remove the extra copies of the data which are not necessary for the data analysis. Now you click it. Now it has told you select all. When you select all now, it checks on the duplicate on all the columns and all the rows. Now you click OK. Alright, and it has given you the number of duplicate values which were found and removed, and the number of remaining unique tables or unique values. Now here, 6 duplicates was found and removed, and 3 unique values has remained. Thank you very much for watching up to this part. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Learn ICT with Toby. It is always available in YouTube, and I have some of the videos which I have created already concerning with many issues on Excel, which includes the functions which we normally interact with them in our daily life. Alright, after seeing the table design, table resizing, and removing the duplicates, let's now see how we can go back to the cell range after we have created our table. Now, the table can be converted back to the cell range by using the Convert to Cell Range tab, and this is available on the Table Design tab. You can click at any header of your table and you will find that kind of convert to cell range or convert to range, and this is here below the remove duplicate tab. So when you click this convert to range, this means you will no longer having the table. Instead, you will be having the normal cell range where your data are located. And that normal cell range, it is very difficult to analyze data, or it is very difficult to see the data because they are not even in a separate banded rows. Now, when you click this one, it asks you, do you wish to convert the table to a normal range? You say yes because this is what you are doing. Now, this is in a very normal cell range. It is no longer a table. And although it has remained with our design here, there is no way, but we can remove even our design if we don't wish. You just highlight the table, you come here at the clear, clear everything in the cell, or remove just the formatting, or remove just the content, or remove just the comments, or remove just the hyperlinks. In our table here, we just remove our format. You clear the format. Now your cell range has already become as how it was before. This is how you can convert the table back to the cell range. Alright, after seeing this, now let's go back to our theoretical part to continue with a table designing styles at the part of called the conditional formatting of the table. What is the conditional formatting of the table? Conditional formatting of the table is used to change the appearance of the series in a range based on the specific conditions. And these specific conditions are always pre-made and also can be customized. Conditions are rules based on the specific numerical values or based on the certain matching text. Remember that changing the appearance of the cell visibly highlight the interesting data points for making the data analysis easy for you. How many conditional formatting we have? There are many conditional formatting, but some of them are color scaling formatting, which highlight the values of the cell range with the color conditional formatting. The number 2 is highlighting cell rules. The highlighting cell rules will highlight or change the appearance of the cells in the range based on the specific conditions. And these conditions are based on numerical values, matching text, calendar dates, duplicate, and unique values. So the Microsoft Word offer you the following highlight cell rules. The number 1 is greater than, number 2 less than, number 3 the between, the values which are between a certain values, number 4 which is equal to. So this will highlight the values which are equal to a certain value you are specifying. Text that contains, also it will highlight all the rows which contain some text there. A date occurring, it will highlight all the date which are being specified. Duplicate or unique values, this will highlight the duplicate values, and this is the easy way of identifying the duplicates and the unique values. Now, the highlight cell rules have the following menu. When you go to conditional formatting, there is a tab conditional formatting under the home tab. So you will see the highlight rule is here. So the highlight rule have these all: greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contain, a date occurring, and the duplicate. Now, before we go to top-bottom rules, let's see practically how this highlight cell rule works in the table data or in the data of the table. All right, we can go back to our first table here, which we have already created, but we need not to involve this table which are empty here. Now how can we do? You just resize your table by not including these 1F and what, and you can remove them, or you can clear our format because we don't need this anymore. Alright, can clear our format. Okay, but here we need to include all of our data here on the table. So we have now this kind of the table. The conditional formatting in here, as I have said, has the highlight rule, top bottom, data bars, cal icons, and new rule, and clear rule, and also the manage rule. So we are dealing now with the highlight cell rule. The highlight cell rule has the following conditions: greater than, less than, between, equal to, texts that contain, a date occurs, and the duplicate values. Now, You can use these rules according to what you want to see there. For example, in our table, we have the columns which have some data in the rows. Now, we want maybe to deal with this kind of defense. Defense intensity is 15 sat. It has a lot of values, 100 here. So what we need here, maybe we need to have to highlight in this defense column with maybe, let's go to conditional cell. Now we need to have to highlight, because this is called the highlight set rule. That means you color a certain row according to values or text it contains. Now we have numbers there. What we need is to highlight the greater than, maybe greater than 100. Okay, you click there. You are highlighting numbers which are greater than what? 100. Put your 100 there. Light red fill. So there are a lot of coloring here. The first one is light fill with dark red text. The other one is yellow fill with dark yellow text. The other one is green fill with dark text. So you can choose a kind of highlighting which you wish. Now let's choose the yellow with dark yellow text. When you click OK, now you can see all the cells which contains the number greater than 100 in the defense row has highlighted. Okay, that is remaining in the same length. Now let's clear the format there. We clear the format. Okay, when you clear the format, now you go back to conditional format under the home tab and table design. We go to highlight rule less than. Now we need to highlight the numbers which are less than how much? Maybe let's say less than 60. With which kind of maybe this light red or light red field. Okay, but this is not good. Your data cannot appear well. Let's have the green field with dark text. Okay, when you click OK here, you find all the values in this column with the data less than 60 are highlighted. That is. Now you clear your format also, because you no longer need this. After clearing the format, you go to conditional, highlight cell rule. Now we are dealing with the number between. So we need to highlight the number which are between. Let's say between 80 and 50. Between 80 and 50. So between 8 and 50. Between 80 and 50. So it will highlight all the numbers which are between 80 and 50 inclusively. Between 80 and 50 inclusively. So 80 will be there and 50 will be there, and all the numbers which are between that range will be there. I think you have seen the highlighting. You clear the format so that when you jump to another kind of conditional format under highlight cell rule can be seen well. Equal to. So this will highlight all the values which are equal to the values or the condition I'm going to specify. Maybe here equal to 50. When you click OK, it will highlight all the values which are equal to 50 within this range. Alright, you can clear it so that you can jump to another kind of formatting. You go to conditional, then highlight cell rule, text that contains. So under this kind of column, there is no text. If there is no text, what can we do? Now let's choose the names here, and we go back. To conditional formatting under table design tab, and highlight cellulose, text that contains. Let's now choose the text that contains maybe bell, text that contains bell. So bell is a single. Now when you click OK, the text that contain bell are all highlighted. Here there is bell, here bell, and here there is bell. Right? That is how you can do. You can clear the format. While is in the same, highlight cell rule. We go just date your calling, so we don't have dates there. Maybe the duplicate values. The duplicate values were in that kind of range. So when you click OK, there is no duplicate values. Let's highlight it all. Now we go to table format, highlight cell rule, duplicates. Now you see the duplicates are just highlighted there. The duplicates, poison, clown, rock, water, and the other values which are in a duplicate are being what? Are being highlighted. Now let's clear that. Yes, let's go to clear. Just clear the format only. That is how now, under the conditional format, the highlight cell rule functions. Now let's go to the bottom rules. Going back to our theoretical part, the top-bottom rules. The top-bottom rules are used to change the appearance of the cell in a cell range based on your specific condition. And the appearance of that one is by highlighting it with some colors which we have seen in the highlight cell rule above. The top-bottom rules categories are top 10 items, bottom 10 items, top 10%, which highlights the top percentage of the values, bottom 10%, which highlight the lowest percentage, above average, which highlights the greater than average or below average. Alright, the top bottom loose menu is how it is here. So under the conditional format, top bottom loose have this kind of, have that kind of loose. Top 10%, bottom 10%, above average, and below average. Okay, now let's go to see how this functions here. We have the data here, or the table with values. Now we can specify the range we are going to deal with. Under the difference here, now we wish to have the top bottom rules, the top 10 items. It will highlight all the numbers which have a great value, the top 10 values with great values. Now when you click OK, it has given you now with some highlighting. So these are top 10 values, right? Okay, clear the format. Now let's go back. Conditional formatting, top bottom rules, the top 20%. Now this is our top 20%. The number one is, yes, top 20% to top 10%. Right? You clear the format, not clear the values, just clear the format. Now we go back to our top bottom rules. Bottom 10%. Bottom 10 items. This gives you the lowest 10 items, right? So now these are lowest 10 items among all this. Give you the last values, the last 10 values in the column. Okay, that is. Before we go to another kind of format, let's clear the format. Go back to conditional formatting. Right. Bottom 20%. It gives you the most lower 20%, which is 15 and such. Okay. We'll clear the format. We'll go to condition. Above average. So, in order to understand this kind of function, let's calculate the average of this by using our normal way. The average of this kind of data here, but the difference. So the average is 66.7. Now, under the conditional format, we can get, or we can highlight all the number which are below average and all the number which are above average. Now we can highlight this all. You go to conditional format and under table design tab, top bottom rules, below above average or below average, you can choose, let's say above average. So this has highlighted all the values which are above 66.7 as how we have calculated all numbers which are above average. Okay, so even without finding this first, I just calculated it because I wanted you to identify what do we mean when we say above or below average. Okay, you can clear the format in your table. You choose it first, you select it, then you clear the format. Now under the top bottom rule, let's calculate the below average. Highlight all the values which are below average, so you can see all numbers which are below 66.71499 have highlighted with this red colors. Alright, now that is how the top bottom rule works under the conditional formatting. Clear the format, you go back to the theoretical part. Another conditional formatting is by using the data bars and the icon sets. The data bars are used to add the colors bars to the cell in the range. You normally choose the range or select the range, which indicates how large the data series values are compared to other values. So when you highlight your range or when you select your range, you will see the data are varying from one another. So the data bars will show you how the variation is between the data you are dealing with. The other one is the icon sets or the color scales. So the color scales also can show you how the data in the range are large compared to other data or other values within the same range. They are all under the I concept. I will give you this notices later and my video description. I concepts. The I concepts are also uses icons to separate or differentiate the values in the range which are compared to other values within the same range. You can see the I concept is there at the range. Okay. We have the manage rule. The manage rule, this manages or removes the condition or clears the condition we still define to that one. Okay, now let us go to practical part so that we can finish up with these two kind of formatting. Okay, that one. All right, we have our table here. And let's deal with on the defense, although we can deal even with attack. So when we select this one, what we are selecting is a cell range. So by using the conditional formatting, specifically on the data bars, conditional formatting, you go to data bars. So we have this kind of fill of the bars. There is a gradient fill and also there is a solid fill. A gradient fill, that means the colors will be reducing from the toppest to the lowest, but the solid one are just the bars which are colored in solid, and they are in different styles. You can choose this one called the blue data bar. This is called the green data bar. This one is called light blue data bar. This is called purple data bar, but in a gradient form. So when you click that one, I think you can see the smallest one. Its bar is just very small, and the largest value, the bar is very long. The next to it, the bar is somehow very long. So these data bars can differentiate one data from another according to its intensity or according to its magnitude. All right, you can select it and clear. So that was a gradient. Now let's go to a solid one. I think you can see now the difference. So the bars are totally solid. The bars are totally solid. So they will be visible well according to the kind of formatting you have made on your table. For example, if we change the formatting of the table here to the style maybe which is not such black, to this kind of style here, or we choose the medium one like this. No, yes, like this one. You can see somehow how the bars and the numbers are visible. All right, we can clear the format before we go to another kind of conditional design. Select this one and you go under the tab, home tab, and you clear the format. Okay, another conditional format is called color schemes. So you can color them. You can color according to the appearance. These colors just differentiate the type of data, and it does not show you the intensity or how the data are bigger from the other one, but it's just to highlight the different datas, and the data with the same value have to contain the same color. For example, this 50 here, this 15 is in a very red compared to this 30. So when you change the 30 to 15, you will find the color is the same. When you change also this 45 to 15, you find that the color is the same. When you change this one to 66, you will find that the color of 66 here is all the same. So the color style just highlights the same data with the same colors. Okay, can clear this one. Go to formatting. Yes, you clear the format. Now let's go to the last one, which is icon sets. Icon sets. So the icon sets in different. There is this is called directional. There is shapes. There is indicators, there is rating. Yes, you can use this all. Let's begin with the directional one. You see, so you will be given different directions according to the type of data you are having. You can see that. All right, now let's change. We go to conditional, icon sets. You can use this one, you can use this one, you can use the indicators. The smallest one, cancel it, that is what and what. They're all different, you know. You can use this one, you can use the writing one, you can use this kind of shapes. You see, with 15 is totally empty. With 66 is just a half of the largest one. You see that one is 30 and 66, likely to be half, but 15 is just empty. 50 is almost 1/3, right? Something like that. Okay, but I like this one here, the bars. You see, they are likely to be like bars of the network. When 150 is we take 115 here, and 130 are likely to have the full bars because they are the biggest data among all. But this 15, the network is likely to be off because 15 is very small compared to 1/3. 70 here is almost a half of the full. So that is how you can do by using the so-called icon data sets. Thank you very much for watching my second video on data analysis. The said video will talk more about visualization of data by using the so-called data charts, and there we can look on histograms and other kind of charts which can present the data visibly. Thank you very much for watching. You are very welcome to my said video in which we will talk more and we will present visibly what we have seen today in our tables. Thank you very much for watching and have a very good time.